Now let's go live courtside for tonight's pregame show on ESPN 100.7.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Victory against the Girard Trojans at home, the largest victory of the year. I know at the beginning of the season you said this very young group, they looked like a seasoned veteran bunch against the Trojans. Can you just touch on what you saw from your girls last week?
Yeah, they just they're more game time. They're just kind of growing up and starting to be a little more aggressive and take ownership of what they can do out there on the court, and they came out ready to go and played well.
And that really came out on the defensive end. I know you tried to run some press sets. The defense really seemed to be on point that night against the Trojans. Can you just touch on how well the defense played? Yeah, we wanted to start it off trying to get out and really pressure their ball handlers other than Crane, try to keep it out of Crane's hand and really get after the rest of their ball handlers. And I think we caught them off guard a little bit, and that helped. And our girls played really good defense. We've been working on how to play good on-ball defense without fouling, and I feel like we're kind of getting there. And I think that on-ball pressure got some easy turnovers, got us some easy baskets. And, when you start the game off some easy baskets, all of a sudden it helps your offense overall throughout the rest of the game to kind of get started that way. And that was going to be my next point. The individual matchups defensively really seem to favor your girls. Can you just touch on what you've seen in practice that made you feel confident that those one-on-one matchups were going to pay off in your favor?
Yeah, like I said, I just think they're starting to see the whole picture of the defense, especially in the half court, of your rotations, of if you get beat or if there's a pick and roll, the help, and then that was kind of the first stage is getting somebody to help, but now it's getting somebody to help the helper, and just continually rotating and force that next pass, and they're doing a good job of that, and they're starting to kind of see the whole defensive concept.
Well, Coach, we've sid your team grow, and that's been a theme throughout this season, but that 30-point victory has to give your girls a lot of confidence heading into the Border Classic at home. Yeah, I think it does, and like I said, it's just more than anything, it's just when you got a young team, you just want to have those outings where you feel like your work's starting to pay off, and you get to see some fruition from what you've been sweating for, and I think they did a good job. Yeah, that sweat equity really starting to pay off, and I've seen more and more lately Kidd and Casper step up as leaders. Can you just touch on how Casper and Kidd have been the impetus for the success you've had since towards the end of the 2017 calendar year up until now? Yeah, I mean, they just set the tone. Like I said, they're just a consistent force that sets the tone for all our younger girls. They come in ready to practice every day. They come into the games ready to go. They're so consistent
and so detail-oriented what they do defensively that, they cover up a lot of mistakes and just set the tone for all the rest of our girls on how to handle themselves and how to be tough and play good basketball.
Can you also touch on offensively how your sets worked out against the Trojans? I know trying to get younger players to adapt to a system and buy in is difficult, but it really seemed that all the players are starting to become much more relaxed in the offense you're trying to run.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that comes from getting some easy baskets early. Yeah. When you get some easy baskets early, all of a sudden, it's kind of like they say when you're struggling, if you can, get to the free throw line, you see a couple baskets go in, it all of a sudden, helps out everywhere. And I think it's the same thing with early on, making some layups and getting some easy baskets, and all of a sudden just help the overall confidence of our offense. But no, they're getting ready. They know their spots better on offense, the set plays we run. And as when you go to those sets and running the offense without having to really think about it, then you can pay attention to things like, making shots and looking for the open man and, looking to the second, the third option, and they're getting there.
Coach, Border Classic held at home. Obviously, that's an advantage for you and your girls. But in addition, the field that you guys will be playing in, a very high-caliber bunch. You talk about tonight's matchup, Tulsa East Central. But before we delve deeper into tonight's matchup, can you just give me your opinion as a whole in terms of all the teams that are in this contest?
Oh, yeah. It's a really good tournament we got here, and a lot of high-caliber teams, a lot of good basketball, and from all over. And just already from watching, I've seen some – teams that like to push the pace and get up and down. I've seen some teams that would, rather pack it in a zone and kind of lull you to sleep, but do things fundamentally sound. And that's good. And that's what tournaments are for, is to have these, all these good programs come together and play in a different variety of ways and get challenged and see who comes out on top.
Currently talking with Chris Krotz, head girls basketball coach at Pittsburg High School. Coach, last question, Tulsa East Central tonight. I spoke with Coach Mack earlier today. This is a unique situation for he and his girls. He lost 7 from a state championship run a year ago, had a couple girls transfer and graduate respectively. Can you just touch on tonight what do you expect from this club and what you hope to do execution-wise to come out with a victory?
Well, they're a good ball team, and they're used to winning, and so they have that winning mentality. So we've got to come in and match their intensity and even surpass their intensity and try to get the pace of the game going up and down the court a little bit. They like to, kind of set back into a zone, and they got some height, and so we need to try to push the ball up the court and maybe get some easy baskets in transition or get some early offense and, really get after them as much as we can defensively and make this more of a full court game instead of a half court game.
Once again, that was Pittsburg High School girls basketball coach Chris Krotz. We are back in 2 minutes with head coach Mack of Tulsa East Central here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
Let's go courtside. Hello, and we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Cam Molina joined by Sammy Mack, head girls basketball coach of Tulsa East Central. Coach, last time out, you won a 30-point game against the Weston Warriors, advancing to 8-4 on the season, but it's a unique 8-4 team in the fact that you've lost several players due to either graduation or transferring from a year ago during your 2016 Class 5A state championship run. You have a lot of new kids. Can you just touch on the atmosphere revolving around your team with a lot of this youth?
Well, it's pretty exciting. I mean, the kids that we have playing, they're no stranger to winning. They've got won the freshman season last year, pretty much went undefeated, played a lot of varsity ball during the summertime. So it's going to be real interesting coming down to your tournament today.
Well, Coach, and staying on the topic of young players, I know it can be challenging for a coach. Can you just touch on the learning curve and trying to help a lot of these young girls adjust to the flow of the game? And when we mean a young team, you lost 7 starters from a state championship team a year ago.
Yeah, it's been a challenge. I think the funny thing about the kids that we have is that last year they thought they should have been starting anyhow. So they're getting a taste of what it's like to be thrown in the fire, and they're doing a good job right now.
And Coach, you touched on being thrown into the fire. I know different coaches have different mentalities, whether that's to keep some of their young players on the bench and help them mature in practice and to watch varsity games, or toss them into the fire, like you said, baptism by fire. Can you touch on that approach with your younger players?
Well, I just believe if you're on the varsity somewhere down there, you're going to have to play, and it don't need a hole in the back. I mean, right now we're playing with so much youth. We just have to deal with the mistakes and try to guide them and teach them.
And Coach, can you talk about guiding your players? And I know sometimes there are coaches that find it difficult in game to break down certain situations, and they have to go back to the tape. But sooner or later, their players start to pick up on the nuances of the game. Can you just touch on breaking down the X's and O's for your younger girls?
Well, we have about 30 different plays, and after every practice, they're either frustrated or upset. But we remind them and keep working with them on different sets on what they're supposed to do. It's just like anything else. I mean, repetition, go back over it, over and over it again. We have days where they work on one play the whole practice. So they're starting to mature a little bit. Like I said, it's not what you do early, it's what you do late at the end of the season when you get ready for the playoffs.
Currently talking with Sammy Mack, head girls basketball coach of Tulsa East Central. It may be too early to see, Coach, but do you predict the ceiling of the team that you have now to be very high? You've been able to watch them in practice a little bit, and in some game situations. What's the top look like for this team?
Well, I expect for them to be at the top. I don't look at them as freshmen and sophomores or whatever. I'm just like, the history of the program. I expect for you to be at the top at the end. So they understand the expectations.
Well, Coach, and one particular area to touch on is the fact that you lost your 6'4" post at Christmas break. She transferred. You're bringing in a 6'2" freshman post down low. Can you touch on the difficulties of trying to get a post player to adapt to a particular situation, much like hers, going up into a tournament with a lot of high-caliber teams?
Oh, this is going to be a challenge. That's all I can tell you. The 6'4" post we lost is being recruited by everybody in the country just about. The 6'2" post that we're getting ready to try to put out here, still trying to figure out how to get out of the lane. So it's gonna be interesting.
Well, Coach, just to stick on the topic of caliber teams, can you touch on the array of competition you'll take on at the Border Classic?
Well, last year we won this tournament, and we used this to catapult us on to the state championship. This is a great tournament, good teams. A lot of the teams that we're going to play, we don't see that type of competition at home. So it's going to be, it ought to be a lot of fun.
Coach, what do you see from the upcoming Pittsburg team?
Well, I don't know much about them. Really don't have any scouting reports on them or anything about them. I just know that they put their tennis shoes on and their uniform on the same way. We're just going to go out there and get after them.
Again, that was Sammy Mack, head girls basketball coach of the Tulsa East Central Cardinals. We are back in just 2 minutes with starting lineups ahead of the Dragons-Cardinals matchup here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
Are you tired of all those confusing checking account options? The Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union makes your choice simple. We only have one option. Our checking account has no monthly fees, and if you maintain a $2,000 minimum balance, we pay you interest. Get the Credit Union Advantage at 416 North Broadway or call 620-231-5719 for more information. Deposits are federally insured by NCUA up to $250,000.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
Advanced technology, comprehensive quality care. That's Canar Eye Care. We have the newest technology, but we never lose sight of what's most important, our patients. Eye care has changed dramatically in recent years, and we've been there for you every step of the way. At Canar Eye Care, patients spend time with doctors. Total eye care from contact lenses, including bifocal contacts, treatment of disease, and surgical co-management. Canar Eye Care, the clear choice.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out.
Without standing apart.
You belong.
At Pittsburg State University.
You. Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
When the lights come up on Friday and Saturday nights at high schools and colleges across the region, it's often on a field built by Crossland Construction. Many Crossland employees played on those fields and were educated in the schools that are thriving parts of our communities today. Crossland is a proud supporter of area athletics and urges you to be a part of your local school community. Many of the athletes playing today may help Crossland build across our region in the future. Check out career opportunities at crossland.com. Crossland Construction, build you.
No one wants to file for bankruptcy, but a wage garnishment can make it hard to pay the rent, pay the pharmacy, or even feed the family. Bankruptcy can be a viable option to help families cope with unfortunate and unforeseen financial hardship. Call Steve Stockert at Wilbert & Towner, 620-231-5620 for a consultation to find out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you and your family. Call today. Wilbert & Towner, a full-service law firm, 620-231-5620. We are a debt relief agency, helping people find the relief they need in bankruptcy.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
Hi, I'm Kendall Gammon. You may know me as a Kansas City Chief, but I'm also a proud graduate of Pittsburg State University. Pittsburg State offers more than 200 degree programs, small class sizes, and tuition so affordable it earned Pittsburg State a top 10 ranking on Washington Monthly's Collegiate Best Bang for Your Buck list. But don't take my word for it. Visit Pittsburg State and see why there's nothing like being a gorilla. Learn more at pittstate.edu/BA Gorilla.
Let's go back live courtside.
If you want to improve your basketball skill set, you need to attend one of the Lane Lord basketball camps. Each camper receives individual attention and specific coaching adapted to age and skill level. There's something for everyone. A grade school camp for girls entering 3rd through 8th grade, a high school team camp available on 2 different weekends with both varsity and JV levels of competition, plus satellite camps throughout the summer. All campers receive instruction from head coach Lane Lord, head assistant Amanda David, along with former and current players. For more information, visit them online at LaneLordBballCamps.com. Coach Lord and Coach David have seen tremendous success over the past several years, and they begin their recruiting at these camps, with over 20 former campers being signed. Visit LaneLordBballCamps.com.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
And Coach Kratz has not been pleased with his girls' determination and effort in this ball game, losing the rebounding battle in this second half. Odell rips through from the left corner, finds Kidd free throw line, and a foul on the floor. That's the 19th foul committed by East Central, and I think it's the 4th on Mitchell.
Yep.
So 4 on Mitchell. For those of you on our live stream, we welcome you in on ESPN100.7.com. Avi Sharma, Shelby White, Cam Molina with you. And for those of you on the dial, it is a close ball game as Odell shoots a 1-and-1. Her first free throw is her only free throw. Ball is rebounded by Odell, keeps it in play as she faded out of bounds, but too little, too late. No, she was actually able to get a shoe shiner. It looked like for a second the official motion that it would be East Central ball, but it's now Dragon ball. In the front court, it's Casper, her team down 7, 3 minutes to work with. Launches the ball right wing, looks for Petty, who is working with the sphere outside the perimeter. Tries to go with a reverse layup. That one swatted away. Skip pass by Stowe. In transition, Griffin goes up a right-handed ball, saucers out, rebounded by Kidd, and she is fouled. 10th team foul committed by Tulsa, and Kidd will go to the free throw line. And that is Rashawn Griffin's second foul. Keep in mind the winner of this game plays the victor of North Kansas City in Wichita West tomorrow at 5:45 in the auxiliary gym here inside Pittsburg High School. The boys, in terms of Pittsburg High School, will play following this contest, so just stick on to the live stream if you want to view the boys game at ESPN100.7.com as Kidd knocks down her first. And stick to the dial as we will segue immediately into the Carl Junction Pittsburg High School game. Caitlin Kidd goes 2-2 from the stripe. She's 8 of 4 in the ball game. Now 8 points, 4 boards. 40-35 is the score. 2:45 left in the contest. And just a quick recap, the Dragons struggled in the first quarter, as did the Cardinals with turnovers, as both teams were very sluggish. Dragons led by 2-7-5. Dragons pulled away in the second quarter, led 18-7 at one point. That was their largest lead of the evening, 9. But the Cardinals started to find their groove, pulled within 6 heading into halftime, 18-12 at intermission, and then it was all Cardinals in the third quarter as they outscored the Dragons 18-9. And in this fourth quarter, it has been fairly balanced between both sides as the Cardinals have pinned up 10 points and the Dragons have posted 8. The Dragons with 2:44 to go and with probably more games as a unit than this young Cardinals team that lost Jaden Bird, a 6'4" Division I recruit. She transferred to Jenks High School in Oklahoma. And then Janae Asbury, who graduated at semester to play basketball at Oklahoma State. Both ESPN Top 100 Girl Hoops players. Right wing is Mack as she wheels away towards the far end of the court. Working with the sphere is Mitchell as she shovels the ball into the torso of Blakely. Blakely looks for Mitchell. She's wide open left wing, not going to rush the offense though. Casper and Petty trying to track down both very agile guards. Blakely loses it off her knee and it's a backcourt violation, and that's the mistake the Dragons were hoping for. This is the time to counterattack. Coach Kratz raises his right hand and 4 fingers are dialed up. It's a half-court set. High-low action. Kidd catches at the high post but loses it. Somehow it trickles to Petty. Petty will work the right short corner. Tries to fork through a bounce pass to the left short corner. Odell recovers as she's knocked to the floor. And I think it was a jump ball, a held ball, excuse me. So held ball. It will be possession arrow Tulsa. East Central to inbound, right side of the goal for Mitchell. Elliott has it, far side sideline. Odell rips it away from Elliott as she tiptoed along the sideline. It will remain Tulsa East Central basketball with 2 minutes to go in the contest, a 5-point lead for the Cardinals. Elliott catches front court, tries to find Stone. Kidd read it, slapped it down, but Stone recovered again. Right short corner, 2 falls through, and Blakely, the marksman for the Cardinals, 6 of 6 from the floor. 1 of 1 from downtown, 13 points, 2 rebounds. She and T.T. Mitchell have combined for 32 of the team's 42 points and have put the Dragons in a bind with under 2 to go. It is a 7-point ball game, 42-35, and we are back in 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB. Member FDIC.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Special thanks back to Shelby White back at our KSHU studio, keeping us on air. Same thing with Heath Adkins and Mike Snow, who is currently at the Tony Dubray tournament in Liberal, Missouri. You can check out all of our ESPN action at ESPN100.7.com and watch all the live streams. Right now, the Pittsburg High School girls basketball team trailing by 7 in the waning minutes against Tulsa East Central for their first-round matchup of the 2018 Border Classic. Cassidy Odell slices inside the lane. Shea Stone slides over, commits her 5th foul. And the 6'2", 6'3" post, however you want to pin her, is out. Anderson will sub in. And despite playing limited minutes, when Stone was on the court, she gave Coach Mack some really good effort. Odell with some crucial free throws here to bring it within 5. First free throw is good. Odell will shoot her 2nd and 3rd free throw of the night right now. As she's 1 of 2 currently, can go 2 of 3 right here. Official delivers a pretty good bounce pass to Odell, chest level. Brings her elbow into her shooter's pocket, flicks her wrist, no. Offensive rebound by Kidd, though, and she's able to hoist it up high off the window, and it drops through. Tight ball game still, 4-point contest, 42-38, 1:40 to go. Anderson at the point, whips it to the right wing. With it is Mack. Mack is able to escort a pass left wing to Blakely, who's 6 of 6 from the field in this contest, as discussed prior to our commercial break. Mitchell delivers a beeline pass. Petty rips it away, is able to save it before going out of bounds. Kidd with it, skips it over to Odell. Odell has a sliver, goes through the nook, and the cranny closes up quickly. Good rotation by Anderson, and it was last touch by Petty. Anderson did not make contact with the basketball. That was a great opportunity to counterattack for the Dragons, and it was soiled. Anderson subs out. Elliott comes in with 1:19 to go. Full court press by the Dragons, and it's a man press. No, excuse me, it's a zone press. Just a quick 1-2-1. Kidd has to defend the faster Elliott in transition. Good recovery by Petty to defend Elliott as the ball is located left corner to Blakely. Casper reads it, jumps the route, punches it out of bounds, nearly hitting one of the operators of the clock at the scores table. Again, 4-point contest, 42-38 the score. Dragons' first round match of the 2018 Border Classic. The Dragons trying to go into the winner's bracket at home. East Central, 55 ticks left, up forward. Elliott interchanges with Blakely. Blakely skips it to an open Mack left block, and it is a foul committed by Matlock of the Dragons. That is Matlock's 3rd and the team's 8th. So much like Odell, on the opposite end of the floor, it will be Blakely with big-time free throws here. First one off the back iron, rebounded by Odell, and an immediate foul. That was the worst-case scenario for Coach Mack of Tulsa East Central. The missed free throw by Blakely, who was shot 6 of 6 from the floor in this contest, and an immediate foul by Mack as she picks up her 5th. Anderson comes in. Odell again put in a very fortuitous situation for the Dragons as a whole, but a pressure cooker spot for her. She'll have 2 free throws, leaves the first one short, and I know for a sophomore who's played mostly JV at the varsity level, trying to make some big plays can be tough, but if at least you hit one here as she misses the front of her 2 shots, she can make it a 3-point game. 50 ticks to go. Odell follows up the first miss with a second make. Matlock bringing pressure. Odell late on the trap, and a foul by Odell as she kicked the ball away from Mitchell, and the far side ref is saying that it is a foul on Cassidy Odell. She's critical of the foul. Kind of scrutinizing the officials underneath her breath, and most players do that. They believe they are not guilty, but I think Odell slid over just a bit too late, and that's why the call was signaled. As TT Mitchell knocks down her 3rd of 3 free throws in this contest, her 4th one coming up. Has hit 4 free throws in as many attempts. 44-39 the score. A 5-point ball game. The Dragons have had chances in this contest, Avi. It's just being able to capitalize. So Odell goes 1 and 2 from the stripe, but you make the free throw, a good chance to set up your full court press. Matlock realizes on the 1-2-1 press that Odell is not in position. In that situation, as a varsity player and as a player that has been practicing with this group at that particular level for some time now, you have to realize, you have to get your mind back into the set of defense as soon as that free throw goes through. A big lapse by the Dragons. Mitchell and the Cardinals capitalize.
Yeah, a big hiccup there with 5 points left. 5 points of differential, with 46 seconds left in this game. A lot of hiccups by this Purple Dragon team. Very unusual but again, this game is not over, Cameron. It's all about executing now at the end of the game.
46 seconds to go, 5-point ball game, and as you said, the Dragons still have a chance to fight back, and it looks like Blakely is going to play face-up defense on Petty and not allow her to catch, so the ball is going to have to be touched by another Purple Dragon player as Odell catches it left wing, tries to work inside, slips, loses it, last touch by East Central. It will be an inbound by Kidd, and again, Blakely is face guarding Petty, so I think that option may be taken away. Kidd skips it backcourt. Odell catches it. 35 seconds to go. Right wing is Petty. She goes in between the leg. Double team has Kidd. Ball swapped away by Anderson. Stolen away. The Cardinals wasting clock. There needs to be a foul in the backcourt, and Petty finally commits it. Petty with 3 fouls, and that is the team's 10th. So Mitchell, if she is able to keep the streak of free throw perfection, she could seal this one here. She is 4 of 4 currently. A 5-point lead. Knocked down 2 would make it a 7-point lead with just 25 seconds to go. Mitchell knocks down the front of her 2 shots. Mitchell spins the ball in her left hand. Her free throw takes a hop off the lip of the iron and goes through. She has 23. Game high in scoring. Casper crosses over right to left. She needs to go to the work. Ball tipped up in the air by Elliott. Bounce pass Kidd. Left hand scores. 16 seconds to go, but it might be too little, too late. Pressure in the backcourt. Odell comes away with the steal. Petty right there. Double clutches. She scores. 46-43 the score. You have to foul here. Odell does. Good steal by Odell, but now you put the ball back into the hands of Mitchell, who has shot 6 of 6, but that is the only option you have. Mitchell has to miss both. You have to get the ball into the front court, probably to your best shooter in Petty, who will be face guarded by Blakely, whether it's misses or makes here. And Mitchell misses her first shot off the left side of the back iron and try to have Petty shoot the 3. Mitchell, her 8th free throw to decide it all. Short, rebounded by Kidd. She needs to look up. Finds an open Casper. 1 second left. The heave is up. No good. And the Dragons lose their 7th game of the year. They held on to the lead into halftime, but it was the 3rd quarter that sealed the deal. You have to appreciate the fight from the Dragons, but give all credit to Coach Sammy Mag and what a predicament he was in, working with an extremely young bunch, losing 2 top 50 players in the country, and Jamae Asbury and Jaden Bird, 2 top 60 players in the country, and Bird and Asbury, able to come onto the road, about a 3-hour drive into Pittsburg, Kansas, and come out with the victory, 46-43 to advance to 9-4 on the year. Coach Krotz's girls drop to 3-7. We are back in 2 minutes with a final wrap-up of the girls' game. We will advance to the boys' information after that as the Pittsburg High School boys basketball team and Kylie Rolfs look for their 7th victory of the year against COC opponent in the Carl Junction Bulldogs. Back in 2 minutes right after this here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons, open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
Tough loss for the Purple Dragons, dropping a 3-point game against Sumi Mack and the Tulsa East Central Cardinals, 46-43. In what was a game that they had led throughout a vast majority of the evening. They led after the first quarter 7-5, led by as much as 9 in the second quarter, 18-7. Into the first half, 18-12, up 6. Third quarter, were out-rebounded by a bunch. Offensive rebounds really piled up for this Cardinals team, taking advantage of their size and athleticism and just a lackadaisical effort by the low post players for the Dragons. And then in the fourth quarter of action, T.T. Mitchell as well as Brianna Blakely really stepped up and hit some crucial shots and free throws, paying dividends as the Cardinals 10 of 15 from the Striped Dragons, 19 of 29. Those 10 missed free throws came back to haunt this club. A quick run through of the stats. Zoe Pinamani, 1 point, 6 points for Kaden Matlock, 12 points for Caitlin Kidd, 2 for Cassidy Odell, including 3 boards, 4 points, 5 rebounds for Casper, 18 points, 2 rebounds for Madden Petty on 4 of 6 shooting. The Cardinals did a spectacular job keeping the ball out of her hands. 23 points for T.T. Mitchell, game-high score on 7 of 11, shooting 6 of 8 from the line. 2 points for Griffin, 5 for Mack, 13 for Blakely, Elliott with 1, and then 2 for Stone, including 3 boards. Final score 46-43. We will take a 30-second break, And we'll have both head coach Kylie Rolfe for the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons and Skip Brock of the Carl Junction Bulldogs speak with us here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB. Member FDIC.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
I was pleased with our guys' ability to just kind of, not blink, if you will, and stay focused and not panic in those situations. I mean, Girard came out, and I thought they played extremely well, especially in the first half. Shot the ball well, credit to them. We also, I felt like we really got spread out defensively and just gave them space, if you will, and they got a lot of offensive rebounds, which was a problem in the first half as well. So, I thought our guys just did a good job of not panicking and just kind of staying focused and continue to try to get things to kind of change momentum and get things going our way. And it did turn over that way a little bit in the second half and enabled us to make a run and then kind of maintain that run through a big part of that second half. We played a lot better defensively.
Well, Coach, and I think you hit the nail on the head, especially in one department, the rebounding department, and it's rare that your team gets blown out on the glass, but it was a plus 11 advantage to my count by Girard in terms of the boards. Can you touch on things may not be going your way, but your guys' resiliency and being able, as you said, to not blink in those certain situations and really wrap it up with how the seniors did a good job of making sure some of the younger players kept their heads on straight and made sure you guys executed down the stretch?
Well, we just kept playing, and this is a group that understands that, and we have trust in our guys as coaches. We have trust in our guys that if we do that, good things are going to happen. And I think our guys trust that as well. And I thought that was probably the biggest thing is we just kept playing. We knew if we just did a few things differently, things would be okay. Our guys kept communicating with each other, and eventually good things started to happen. We got the momentum back, and once we got the momentum back, it things really swung around in that second half, and we're able to get a lot of good things going.
Coach, do you think it serves any positive of playing outside of your own league at times? I guess you can start really becoming familiar with some of the clubs in the SEK, but taking on Girard, for example, and then coming up in the Border Classic, you'll have some other teams you may not be as familiar with. Can you just touch on how nice it is potentially to get outside of the league and play some other teams?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's athletics, that's sports, and it's competition, and that's why you do what we do is because you love to compete, and so you playing against teams from other areas that can give you different looks, and in the big picture of things, make you a better basketball thing is always a good thing to do.
Currently talking with Pittsburg High School boys basketball coach Kylie Rolfe. Well, Coach, on the topic of the Border Classic, first round you'll play Carl Junction. Before we get deeper into that, over years at Pittsburg High School, have you seen any big evolution with the Border Classic, just starting from where it was to where it is now? Have you noticed any big changes in terms of caliber of opponents or just the attention it draws?
Well, I think the attention it draws is definitely something that's continued to evolve and gotten better. I think people now look for the brackets coming out and want to check out certain matchups and find out who's there, so on and so forth. And from the get-go, 2 years ago we've had, and this is the third year we're having it, but from the very get-go, 3 years ago we've had really high-quality teams, and this year is no exception. I mean, I'd be very surprised if this isn't one of the top tournaments statewide in terms of just quality of and caliber of basketball teams that are going to be here.
Well, Coach, do your boys shy away from that challenge, or do they embrace it in terms of the quality of opponents? I know there are some KC schools, some northern Oklahoma schools, and then obviously Southwest Missouri all will be in one big household. Can you just touch on that?
Well, it's a good thing. Again, one of the main reasons why we wanted to get this thing going and put it together and host one here was it gave us a chance to bring in those types of schools, which, if you just want to look at the big picture, if Pittsburg High School wants to make a run at the state tournament or in the state tournament at the end of the year, those are the types of schools that you're going to have to beat. And so it gives us a look at that quality of team, here in about midway through the season, which is a good measuring stick for where you're at and things you need to improve on as you head towards the second half of the season. So, I think our guys are excited about it. I know we definitely are excited about it, and I hope that many people in the area are excited about it again because it'll be really good basketball.
Coach, what do you see from the Bulldogs?
Oh, the size. They've got two of the better big kids in the area that play for them, and they are high-quality players. They surround themselves with solid guard play as well, but everything really they do goes through their two bigs, and their two bigs are a load to deal with, and we'll have to be very good in order to take some things away from them.
Once again, that was the Pittsburg High School boys basketball coach, Kylie Rolfs. We'll be back with more action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, grooming, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with the treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
High school basketball on ESPN 100.7.
Hello, and we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Cam Molina joined by Skip Brock, head boys basketball coach of the Carl Junction Bulldogs. Coach, last time out, you and your club took on the Kaminsky Classic, a lot of high-caliber teams there. You struggled throughout most of the games, but you were also able to catch a glimpse of some of the league opponents that you face on a regular basis. Webb City happened to be one of them. Can you just touch on how you felt your boys fared during that tournament play?
Well, we've not recently put together a 32-minute performance, and when you're playing teams like we played, including the two league games we had last week, you've just got to sustain it for, you can't play good basketball for 25 minutes or 28 minutes. And so I think there's just been certain times of the game where we've had a dry spell offensively, and that are led to maybe had some defensive breakdowns. So we're just striving to be a little more consistent from beginning to end.
Well, Coach, it seems to be a universal issue around the 3 or 4 year mark of one's tenure, and that is younger players start to come in and they have to adapt to the system, have to adjust to the speed of the game. You do have some veterans on your team, but then you do have players that are not as seasoned. Can you touch on the growing pains of your guys and going back to that whole 32-minute aspect of starting from wire and finishing at the end? Can you just touch on your guys' ability to play the entirety of the game, especially those young guys?
Well, sometimes I think we've had we've had games where we've got off to a great start, which indicates we were mentally prepared. And then we've had, situations where maybe we weren't as ready to play. And I think that inconsistency, I guess you could blame it a little bit on youth. Basketball is such a mental game. And so we try to spend some time with our players on that aspect of how do you mentally prepare, how do you react to adversity, because obviously during a game something's going to happen, foul trouble, or you're going to have some things go against you, and the other team's going to make some plays. And so we just got to continue to try to be more resilient when we have 2 or 3 bad possessions, and try to stack some better possessions together. And instead of having maybe 2 or 3 good possessions, maybe a streak of 7 or 8. And hopefully as we gain experience and we continue to work every day, we can iron some of that out and improve that situation.
Well, Coach, you had an example of that issue during the Kaminsky Classic. You played St. Louis Christian Academy. You led at the break, but then the third quarter, things started to unravel. Can you just touch on, again, going back to that resiliency, can you instill that in your guys, or is that more of an innate deal? Do they have to grow into it? What are your opinions on that?
Well, grit, which is resiliency, is the number one indicator of success in life. And so that's what I love about basketball. It's a game where so many things correlate to what happens in the real world. And we talk to our players about, either the game of basketball uses you or you use the game of basketball as you progress in life. And so, I think a lot of it is you just have to experience it and deal with it. And in particular in that game, I thought that, sometimes we as coaches tend to blame our own group maybe for things that happened, and why they got on a run, why they got away from us like they did. But I also think you've got to credit St. Louis Christian Academy because they did some really nice things in that third quarter. They've got, it was a senior-laden team, and they had 2 6'7" guys inside, and a really nice guard that had transferred in from Champaign, Illinois, that's being heavily recruited. So, it was a tough matchup to begin with, but at the same time, I really liked the way our guys competed and probably played as good as 16 minutes as we had played all season in that opening half.
Cam Molina currently talking with Carl Junction head boys basketball coach Skip Brock. Coach, Class 4 in Missouri is quite the rigorous classification. You have many teams that hang around there, and it's not as if you don't have the tools to compete. You have Trent Prince and Will Beebe in the post, a pair of 6'6", 6'7" guys respectively. Can you just touch on how the guard play needs to elevate, and can you touch on the intricacies of the guard play itself and how you're trying to help develop some of those perimeter players?
Well, that is something we knew coming in that we had to continue. I think we have the personnel that can do it. They've got to believe a little bit more in themselves. In high school basketball, having great guard play, it's been my experience over the years that teams with good guard play can, sometimes overcome maybe a lack of size inside, but it's really difficult if you have a longer team, a bigger team, if you don't get consistent guard play. And I don't want to blame them for the woes that we've experienced, but I think if you would ask them, that they know they need to play better. So we just continue to work on the same, some of the basic things every day that guards need to be able to do. And, again, you're dealing with, we have a group of about 6 guards that are rotating, and 3 of those are sophomores, and only 1 is a senior. So, again, it's going to be a process for these younger guys to figure it out, and it's kind of a catch-22. You need confidence to execute, and you need to execute to gain confidence. So we're doing our best to try to continue to teach them what they need to do, and they're willing learners. It's just a matter of transferring what they're doing in practice onto the floor.
Coach, you have Pittsburg High School to lead off the Border Classic. It's gained a lot more traction and a lot more attention over the years because of the caliber of opponents that attend the tournament. Can you touch on the level of competition in the Border Classic?
Well, I don't know if there's Kylie and his club is as good a basketball team as we'll probably play all season. They've got all the ingredients. They've got some really good inside players. They've got some really good outside players. He does a great job. They play together, and you watch them play, and they know where everybody is, and they play really, really hard. His teams have always done that. That's something I've always really been impressed with. But they have skill, and like I said, they have the ingredients. They're a challenging team. Of all the teams you draw in the opener, you hope you don't draw them, and then you look at that other side of the bracket with Blue Valley Northwest and Blue Springs and Olathe Northwest. There's just some great basketball teams in this tournament, and so every night that you play, every game that you play in this, you're going to have to be ready, and hopefully we will go over and be prepared and give it our best shot, and believe that we can we just got to be who we are. We can't be the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. We just need to be the Carl Junction Bulldogs and just compete hard for 32 minutes and see what happens.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. Camelina with you as we begin the Pittsburgh High School Carl Junction matchup. The Bulldogs, the beneficiaries of an early foul by Gavin Elkamill and a turnover, thusly by the Bulldogs. Following that play as Jarrett Butcher in the left corner has it. He'll skip it right corner to Drew Rolls. Chase Curtis, right wing, will find Marquis English. Right block, steps back out, thought about attempting an 8-foot, 2-point jump shot, but instead, Hobrecht will come defend on the left wing, rotates it. Butcher left corner who slides it over right wing. Elkamill is able to catch it right corner, following a pass from English. Curtis catches it right block and scores. Let's quickly go over the starters now, as it's Chase Curtis, Drew Rolfs, Gavin Elkamill, Marquis English, and Jarrett Butcher for the Dragons. Mason Fox, Brendan Hobrecht, Will Beebe, Nakoa Warren, and Trent Smith for the Bulldogs. And another turnover by the Bulldogs. They have 2 to their name. No field goal attempts, really no time of possession either. As English catches off the inbound from the far baseline from Butcher, spins away from the defending Trent Smith and scores with the left hand. 4-0 is the score. Dragons lead. 6:52 left in the first. Cutting through the middle of the lane is Smith. He'll pick up his dribble. Left block, spin away from Butcher. Double clutch on a 2-pointer. That one off kilter. Curtis rebounds. He brings the ball near his shoes following the miss by Smith. Pushes it in transition as he looks for Elkamill. Ball's rotated right block where English is at, and English goes up through the thicket of arms and draws the foul. And that is on Will Beebe, his first and the team's first. And an early timeout used by Coach Skip Brock. His 3-9 Bulldogs currently suffering from a 6-game losing streak. And currently Coach Brock sorting it out with his boys after 2 early turnovers, trailing by 4 Avi. When I spoke with Coach Brock, he said the biggest area of concern for him is the lack of experience in the backcourt. Starting is Mason Fox. He's a sophomore. Brandon Hobrecht has had limited varsity experience starting. Nakoa Warren is a junior, but again, he's another guy who last year was teetering between JV and played some minutes in varsity. So this is really an inexperienced backcourt that's really trying to pull it together. And then some injuries and illness have really hampered this team. But Will Beebe, Trent Smith, 2 very rare talents, each averaging nearly a double-double at 14 points, 8 rebounds, and 19 points, 8 rebounds, respectively. Marquis English knocks through the free throw. I think the Dragons are going to have their most difficult challenge in the post of the season today, between 2 forwards in BB and Smith, who match the physicality and strength of both English and Curtis. As past midcourt is Smith, who'll quickly whip a pass over left corner. With it is Hobrecht. Hobrecht interchanges right wing with the recently subbed in Tegan Armentrout. Armentrout near the midcourt line with a right ankle brace on his right foot. He wheels back out. Smith catches at the top of the key, delivers a dart right corner. Hobrecht's 3. No, it's poked up into the air. No one's able to track down the loose ball. It will stay with the Bulldogs. 6:10 left in the first. 6-0 is the score. Dragons lead it. We talked about it during the girls' game, Avi, but the student section jam-packed for the Dragons as it is jersey night. Many fans sporting their favorite athlete's jersey. We were able to see Yu Darvish's jersey when he was with the Rangers. We have Donovan McNabb up in the stands, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, and I think there was a student wearing an Atlanta Falcons jersey, but, losing to the Eagles, no big deal there. Wow. Left wing jabbing towards the short corner with it is Armentrout. Relocates a right wing. Fox fakes a pass right corner to an open player in Warren. Warren goes with an up fake, drives inside, has an open, cutting BB. BB goes up and draws the contact and will head to the charity stripe. Oh, excuse me, in the process of shooting was Armentrout. BB was on the backside for the rebound, but it's a foul on Butcher. His first, the team's second, with 5:47 left in the first and a 6-0 lead for the Dragons. First free throw, no, by Armentrout. He will settle down for the second one, right foot in front of his left. As they are staggered, he'll spin the ball in his hand. His right hand cocked just to the left side of the sphere, shoots and completes the free throw. 6-1. Dragons up 5. Butcher to the right wing as he finds an open English right block, picks up his dribble after 1 pound of the sphere to the hardwood. Drew Rolfs pulls up deep 2 on the left wing. No. Curtis had the offensive rebound for a second as he tried to go with the fancy tip-in. He missed, but Marquis English cleans it up. English 6 points and already 1 rebound, arguably the best forward in the Southeast Kansas League. Hard step underneath the basket by Smith, and falling down, taking the charge is Chase Curtis, a delayed call. And that is an offensive foul. Again, pinned on Smith, his first, the team's second, but Smith went with a power dribble inside the key, leaned him with his right shoulder, and Curtis subsequently fell. 8-1 is the score. Dragons up 7. As a beeline pass goes to Elkamil right wing, he'll jab step twice towards the right circle. Elkamil goes inside the key, battles, and tries to stave off Fox. Goes with the double clutch right hand floater. Does not fall, but he does draw the foul. And actually will be called on Warren, so his first, the team's third. And Elkamil goes to the free throw line. The club 2-2 to start from the stripe. The Dragons, their home white uniforms with purple numerals and letterings and a bold purple stripe from the underarms to the knee level with a purple P logo towards the end of the shorts. For the Carl Junction Bulldogs, they are wearing their away scarlet red uniforms with white numerals and lettering. In the backcourt, it's Beebe who finds Smith in the midcourt. Smith being sped up by Rolfs. He pulls up on a 2-pointer from about 5 feet away. No. Elkamil goes 1-2 from the line to add. As the ball's caught, left short corner by English. He'll set a high ball screen for Rolf. Pick and pop. English wide open left corner, does not fall. The ball goes out of bounds. No one touched it following the English missed 3. And now Trenton Austin will sub in. Jarek Butcher goes to the bench. Smith is the only player for the Bulldogs so far, as we are nearly 4 minutes into the action, who has attempted shots. He is 0-2 in the ball game. The Dragons so far have attempted double that. They are 3 of 4 from the field. Trying to fight away from Curtis is the dribbling Armentrout. He relocates the ball left corner to Fox, who whips it right back to Armentrout. Left wing extended. Ward has it at the crown of the arc. Throws a pass fake to the left side, is able to get Austin to bite on it. Austin recovers, defending the smaller guard at Armentrout. Armentrout will set a ball screen, right elbow, lob to Beebe, left block, goes with an up fake and then scores. It was a good flyby as Beebe was able to sell the head fake and Curtis just flew in front of him. Rolfs tried to go with a pseudo head fake that transitioned into a pass. It's tipped and stolen. Smith, the 6'7" forward dribbling, he'll deliver a reverse bounce pass to an open Armentrout, who will try to conduct traffic with his right hand, using his right index finger to tell but Beebe and Smith to set high ball screens. Both will flare out. Beebe goes low, Smith goes high to the right wing. Pass fake by Warren, he'll hold on to it. Bulldogs uniform similar to that of the Wisconsin Badgers, for those of you who need a more mental image or something that is similar to it. An up fake by Warren, left wing, wraparound bounce pass. Smith steps into an awkward 3 that will sail off the lip of the iron and then rebounded by English, his second of the night. Fox's first attempt is a no-go. On the break, it's English catching left block, mishandles it, swatted away by the Bulldogs. It will stay with the Dragons as Butcher comes back in. Fox will go to the bench. Javon Grant comes in, the freshman for the Dragons for the first time tonight, as Drew Rolfs will catch a breather. Slade Frazier comes in for the Bulldogs. Frazier, just a sophomore, who stands at 5'9", and this goes back to the youth in the backcourt for Coach Brock, who again is looking to snap a 6-game losing streak. And Coach Brock told me he believes it's not so much the outcome as it is the process. As Austin catches left block following the far baseline inbound, it's rotated to Grant right wing, but he travels. And Grant, much like a lot of the backcourt players for the Bulldogs, is subject to experiencing growing pains. Grant will defend Frazier, as will be an inbound by Smith in the backcourt to Beebe. Beebe will dribble with the right hand, crosses over in between his legs from right to left and left to right. Defended by English. Triple team comes. It's Elkamil, Javon Grant, and English. Now they will all fall back and defend their respective marks. Right ring with it is Frazier as he goes to the chest pass to an open Armentrout. Armentrout looking to sling the ball. He seems pretty uncomfortable with it as he goes to the chest pass. Left corner three by Warren. No, rebounded by Butcher as the ball falls lazily into his hands. In transition, it's Butcher. He looks up for Javon Grant, who loses his handle on the sphere. I think it was Frazier who got a fingertip on it to jar it loose. Beebe on the break, defended by Elkamil. He's forced toward the right corner and a foul on Elkamil. That is 2 on the sophomore guard. 2:30 to go in the first. 9-3 is the score. Dragons up 6. Drew Rolfs comes in. Elkamil goes to the bench. Rolfs will defend Armentrout as he uses his right-handed gesture to the 5'10 guard. Curtis to come back in as well, but was not in time for the official to see as Beebe looks, and there's a foul away from the basketball underneath the basket. And it's on Trenton Austin. His first, team's fourth. 2018 Border Classic being held inside of Pittsburg High School, and it's a travel right corner by Frazier. Winner of this contest will advance to the second round and will play tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. in the main gym. Loser will go to the auxiliary gym, play at the exact same time between the winner of Carthage and Atchison, which should have ended about 15 minutes ago, but there has not been a report yet as Javon Grant opposite end following the travel by Frazier gets tied up with Armentrout, and Smith hits the floor. Jump ball, rather, excuse me, let me correct myself, a held ball, favor Carl Junction. So it will be a Bulldogs inbound. The Class 4 team in Missouri, a part of the COC conference, that Central Ozark League, really chock full of talent, including Webb City, and a foul on the floor committed by Marquis English. That is the first on English, fifth on the Dragons. Armentrout catches it in the backcourt, accelerates into the front court, turns on the thrusters, thought about stopping and popping at the free throw line, but that hesitation allowed English to slide up and steal it. English goes with the Euro step, tosses it up a right hand, and it's a charge. English now with 2, and early foul trouble for the Dragons. 2 on English, 2 on Elkamil, the team's top scorers. Elkamil goes to the bench, or excuse me, English goes to the bench with two fouls. He has 6 points, 2 rebounds. Curtis comes out onto the floor. Armentrout with under 2 to go in the first, his club down 6. The only baskets that have been scored have been a free throw from Armentrout and a BB lay-in. Ball stolen away again, this time by Curtis, who tries to spin away from Ward. Ball's loose. Austin recovers. Butcher looks right, fakes it, then he'll take an uncontested three-pointer and leaves it short. Butcher's first attempt from the night, no. Armentrout stops at the right elbow, looks for Warren, right corner, who finds BB right block, spins away from Austin, and Austin is called for the foul. So Austin with 2, English with 2, Elkamil with 2 early on, and Isaac Leverens is set to check in with $1:30 left in the first. 17 foul by the Dragons. Coach Rolfs, not the most conducive way to start in his eyes. And a substitution for Carl Junction, as it's Alex Baker who subs in for the first time tonight. Free throw drops for Beebe as he has a second offering waiting in his back pocket. He brings it to his waist, sets below the knee, springs up, no, and a lane violation, so it didn't even matter. But Beebe did knock down a free throw, so it's a 5-point ball game. 9-4 is the score. The Dragons tested last time out against the Girard Trojans, a top 10 team in Class 4A D2. Rod Westcott always doing a terrific job over in Girard, Kansas, about a 20-minute drive from Pittsburgh. The Dragons trailed by 7 at half, 33-26, but ran away with it in the second half. As in the right corner, uncorking a 3 is Rolfs. He misses. Leverens, the offensive rebound, goes back up and draws the contact. And with Austin in foul trouble and English in foul trouble, Leverens' production is going to be more valuable than any time before in this season. And that is the second foul committed by Smith. That is a big second foul, as Trenton Smith is the team's leading scorer. Leverens sets waist level, flicks, right side of the iron. Ball does not drop through. Hoberecht comes back in. Smith subs out. 1:11 to go in the first. And Leveridge trying to make up for his first miss by making his second shot. That one's good. 10-4, Dragons up 6. And despite the foul trouble, PHS leads by 6 points. Holbrook tries to deliver a beeline pass. Far right wing, it's slapped up in the air by Curtis. And then Javon Grant forces the double dribble by Armentrout. And Holbrook just seemed to rush. He wanted the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible. He crossed the prime meridian, looked to his right. Curtis read it, jumped it, and slapped the ball up with his right forearm. Under 55 seconds to go in the first. Left wing rolls. He brings the ball above his head and makes a semicircle in the air, almost like a triple threat move. Rolfs flashes back up, following a pass to Leveridge. Right wing Butcher, he works it to Curtis at the point. Curtis, power dribble, goes with an up fake, goes right-handed, scores and one, and then flexes his muscles. Curtis with 4 points, and he's trying to score in the absence of his front court mate, who also happens to be his senior companion in Marquis English. 8-point lead for the Dragons, and Coach Brock talking with the officials, saying that BB had his hands vertical, his arms were straight up as well, and that it shouldn't have been a foul. And Coach Brock still determined to change the official's mind. Curtis leaves the free throw short. Ball's loose, grappled finally by Warren, as there are several Purple Dragon players that nudge Warren on the opposite end, trying to jar the ball loose. Holbrook, as there's a half-court trap awaiting him, finds Warren. Beebe, who has 2 fouls, he committed the one against Curtis on the right-hand hook shot, attacks right short corner, lowers his shoulder, and that's a charge. So Beebe now with 3 fouls, Smith with 2, and a disastrous first quarter, and a lack of discipline from the Bulldogs' big men. 20 seconds to go, 12-4 is the score. Javon Grant will waltz past the timeline, and it looks like he and the Dragons will hold for 1 shot. Left wing Butcher, he brings the ball to his right hip. 7 seconds left. Curtis, right block, goes with an up fake, and that's a travel, and that's an easy call as Curtis slipped. Coach Rolfs telling his boys to play half-court defense, or full-court defense, and try to keep the Bulldogs out of the half-court set. 4 seconds to go. Warren looks, scans, wanting to go with a baseball pass. In the backcourt, it's Fox to Holbrook. Holbrook leans into a 3. Off the back iron, nearly goes through, but it does not fall. After 1 quarter of play, it is 12-4. The Dragons lead at home to begin the 2018 Border Classic. Here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We are back in 30 seconds.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
Let's go back live courtside.
We are already having a terrific time inside the confines of Pittsburg High School for the 2018 Border Classic. Day 1 of action has already illustrated that it is going to be a long 3-day stretch. Olathe Northwest beat West High School 56-37 to advance in the winner's bracket. And then on the girls' side, the Carl Junction girls toppled North KC's JV team 50-11, and then you heard it here on ESPN 100.7. The Purple Dragons faltered in a contest to Tulsa East Central High School 46-43, and right now the Purple Dragons boys basketball team taking on Carl Junction leads 12-4 as Drew Rolfs uncorks a right short corner deuce. He leaves it short. Following the rebound by BB in transition, it's Holbrook. Holbrook decelerates. Now he'll stop, picks up his dribble, his white swish Nikes squeaking on the hardwood, muscling his way to the basket. Left block is Smith. He does not score. Smith complaining for the foul. Left wing is Rolfs, picks up his dribble, brings the ball chin level. English catches left block, scans the floor. Elkamil is asking for the sphere, works it out to Butcher left wing. His 3 falls. So Butcher drills the first trifecta of the ball game. Dragons won a 3 from deep. 15-4 is the score. In transition, it's Fox. Dribbles with his right hand. Looks, right block, and a good block from behind by Curtis, but Fox recovers, and he's able to fork it through the bottom of the net. Good recovery against Alex Baker by Curtis and Butcher for a combo block. Rolfs at the crown of the arc will find Butcher right wing, who finds Marquis English right block, rotates a left wing after a slinging pass to Elkamil. Left block is English. At the point, Rolfs looks for Elkamil, who attacks left short corner. The runner rolls out. Curtis with the offensive rebound. Power dribble goes back up. No, Smith is able to snare the board. It was a good look by Chase Curtis, his first miss of the contest. Holbrecht holds onto the ball, pockets it, looks to Fox right wing. Fox brings the ball to the forehead level, cocks it, and delivers a rifling pass at the point where Warren's at. Left wing Holbrecht tried to go with a post entry pass to Smith and led him 2 months. 15-6 the score. Dragons up 9, 6:15 left in the second. Despite the Dragons leading by 9 points, foul trouble was prevalent in the first quarter of play. 2 on Gavin Elkamil, 2 on Marquis English, the top 2 scorers for the Dragons, and 2 on Trenton Austin, the quote-unquote 6th man for Kylie Rolfs. Right wing Rolfs will find Butcher as he slings it over to an open Curtis at the right block. English with a bullet pass, right corner from the left corner. Butcher steps into a 3. That one's long. Rebound by Curtis as he skies over Aaron Lutz, goes back up and scores. Chase Curtis, a physical specimen, as he now has 6 points and 3 rebounds. His points are only matched by his front court mate in Marquis English. Lutz, right block, has the ball slapped away by Curtis. A right-hand sling pass by Butcher. Left corner, Elkamil attacks. Left short corner, the reverse. No. Elkamil mistimed that and lost it, but it was a recovery by the Bulldogs and a timeout used by Coach Brock. 17-6 is the score. Dragons leading by 11 points and currently on a 5-2 run. We'll be back at 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
I had no idea you did that.
That's what I said when I learned CDL does more than just electrical work. Like plumbing, heat and air, security cameras and alarms, generators, solar panels, even signs for my business. CDL really is one company that has a solution for about everything in my home and business. Learn more at cdlsolution.com.
Let's go back live courtside.
So it's going to be the battle of the minds, and as the adage goes, brains over brawn. Coach Rolfs instilling into the heads of his young men for the Purple Dragons to continuously attack the basket. And for Carl Junction, Coach Brock trying to solve how to at least stymie this Purple Dragons offensive set where they bring out Marquis English to the wing, and it's almost a 4-out 1-in that interchanges between Curtis and English, and he's drawn up some offense and defensive sets, and we're back underway. And the backcourt is Armentrout. He's defended by English. He'll crash the timeline, and Rolfs is right behind him trailing. English trying to force the hand to Armentrout and accelerate his cadence of play. Catching left elbow, BB nearly traveling right wing. Warren steps into a trifecta air ball. It was a good look, but Warren was just unable to find the bottom of the net. And now the jeers begin. High school kids can be so cruel.
I was that kid back in the day.
I could tell. Well, no, you're the adult in this day, too. 9-point lead. 11-point lead for the Dragons. Math's hard. 17-6 the score. Butcher holsters it right hip, looks for Elkamil right wing. Elkamil stops, thought about popping. He had to look for English, who was attacking right short corner. And after the steal by Warren, it scooped back to Fox. Fox dribbling with his head down. Over to Warren. Left wing 3, swishes it. And when Nakoa Warren has time to set his feet, you get a pretty good product. Speaking of which, Warren pops the ball up into the air following an Elkamil pass. Rolfs left wing 3 trying to respond, but Rolfs has struggled. 0-2 from deep, thus far 0-3 from the floor. 17-9 the score. BB leads in right arm, trying to gain some separation between he and Curtis. No. Curtis, 4th rebound of the night. Following the Smith miss, I beg your pardon. Right short corner, Elkamil pulls up, hits the side of the backboard, and Elkamil struggling as well. And slowing down the pace of the offense is Fox. Fox scans, crosses over in front of Rolfs, and has Armentrout. Armentrout will begin the offense as he uses his right hand to motion over Fox, who slices inside, right hand layup. Falls. Mason Fox is 2 of 2 from the inside the horseshoe. 0 of 1 from deep, 2 of 3 overall. Butcher left corner, wide open, converts. Butcher 2 of 3 from deep, and he's having a good night thus far from downtown. 22-11 the score. Dragons up 9. Javon Grant set to check in. Skip pass by Smith to Warren, who loses it off of his knee, trying to play hacky sack with it. Left wing Fox sells the up fake, trying to deke out Curtis and Rolfs, who are there with a double team. Rolfs comes out to greet Armentrout, who shuffles it back to the left wing. Fox now trying to orchestrate traffic. Now right wing, it's Ludge trying to engineer something manufactured by Warren as a skip pass left wing to Armentrout, and he does travel. 3 to go in the half, 20-11 to score. Grant subs in for Rolfs. Butcher also comes out. Austin comes in. Curtis inbound from the far sideline. And now Carl Junction switches to a 2-3 zone. And it looks like either English or Curtis will go high post. And it looks like they're going to go with a high-low set. Curtis, right elbow, backside Austin for the alley-oop attempt. Rebound by English, and he's fouled on the way. That is a design play where it's almost an overload towards one side of the court as English was on the left block. Curtis left elbow. Austin starts to flow and fade out to the right wing, and then he just darts. English did a good job of grabbing the offensive board. Elkamil put it right where he wanted it, but I think Austin just took off a bit too soon.
I tell you, that would have been a thing of beauty if Austin would have came out with that, as Elkamil comes out and Kafka comes in for it. So
Alex Kafka into the ball game for the first time tonight. English hits his first free throw. He'll have his 4th of the night waiting for him. His second opportunity as he spins it in his palms. Flick of the wrist is good. 4 of 4 from the line. 22-11 is the score. As the Dragons match their largest lead of the night. Armentrout trying to shake Grant with some good behind-the-back moves. He has the ball on a string. He does get past Grant, but a lot of pressure by this Dragon team that's really packing it inside. Armentrout nowhere to go as he finally finds Smith left wing, jabs with his right foot, dribbles with his right hand, looks, his left knee brace, he adjusts it, ball right wing to Warren as he finds Fox. Smith catches left block and is fouled on his way up, and I think that is the first on Curtis. It would be the team's 8th.
Yep.
2:20 to go in the half, 22-11 the score. Smith with no points, 0 of 3 shooting and a rebound. Will Beebe, 3 points and a rebound. Combined, the two forwards for Carl Junction, as Smith misses his one and only free throw, are 1 of 4 from the floor. Kafka skips it right wing to left wing. English is there after the fluttering, high-arcing pass. A straight line pass right wing to Grant from English, who lobs it left short corner. Curtis catches, blow by Ludge, double clutches in the air. Good defense by Smith, slapped away. Last touch by English Bulldog basketball. Good defense by Smith to slide over and recover on that help side as Ludge was beat. And now it's being called a foul, the 3rd on Austin. So 3 fouls on Austin for the Dragons. And a parallel to that, 3 on Will Beebe for Skip Brock's Carl Junction Bulldogs. It just so happens that BB's a starter and Austin's reserve, as Leverage will sub back in for the Dragons. Smith's free throw, smooches the lip of the iron, takes a good Bulldog hop and drops through. Smith will shoot his 3rd free throw of the night here with his black Nikes and black Nike socks as he sets at the waist, holds at the ear, and then flicks. And it seems to be a less consistent issue nowadays at all levels. Big men having trouble shooting the free throws, Avi, and I think Smith, he could be a different case, but I think more so a lot of the more physically inept players that are taller, I think I should elaborate, are doing a lot better shooting nowadays with advanced technology to look at one's free throw, the trajectory, and a lot of the shooting coaches. As Leverage catches right short corner, Grant has it from the right wing, pulls up on a fadeaway. That one circles out, rebound by Curtis, and that is just a man rebound there. That is a determined rebounder, and when speaking with coaches, they will tell you the number one asset for a good rebounder is determination and just being assertive. Grant fouls from behind, 10th team foul by the Dragons. 1:30 to go in the half, Dragons up 11, and Grant commits his first. Armentrout to the free throw line. He's 1 of 2 thus far. First free throw, no, and it's 2 shots. I don't think Smith nor English nor Curtis knew it was 2 shots. But an 11-point lead for the Dragons. Armentrout now 1 of 3, and he can go 50% again here. He does not. 1 of 4 in the contest. Somewhat of an inconsequential foul as the 6th rebound by Curtis is brought in. Grant using his speed to navigate past a whole fleet of Bulldogs. Goes to the rack, misses, but a foul. And I think it was on Kafka on the backside. No, it will be on Leverage. Leverage is first, the team's 11th, and I'm sure the lack of discipline is not boding well for Kylie Rolfs. His club with 6 wins, he definitely wants to advance to 7 and not only have a fair shot at reaching the championship round of the Border Classic, but make sure he maintains pace in the SEK as the Parsons Vikings, among other teams, at the Lancer Classic, and they are favored to win. Fox misses both free throws. English past the prime meridian as he delivers a low trajectory pass. The shallow pass is excavated by Grant right wing as he delivers a chest pass to Kafka left wing. English gets it left corner, Leverage left wing. Ball being worked around the horn. Kafka right corner 3, air ball. Leverage there for the rebound and the reverse lay-in. Good placement, and it's almost as if it was drawn up that way.
Do you call that a shot, or do you call that an assist from Kafka there?
I'm going to put it down as just a missed 3 this time. Next time he does that, which hopefully he doesn't for the sake of himself, I'll give him an assist. Turnover by Armentrout, stolen away by Kafka.
There's the assist.
Leverage bleeds out and he goes with the lay-in. There is the assist by Kafka. As you mentioned, Smith in the backcourt. His Bulldogs trailing by 15, the largest deficit of the night. Armentrout crossing over right to left. Great rip by Javon Grant. Goes up right-handed and fouled on his way to the basket. And that one very close, in my opinion, to being called basket interference, where Warren was at to slap it was above the rim, and I think the ball reached its apex. That's the rule. When the ball reaches its apex and it's on that downward trajectory or that tumble and the ball is made contact with, that's when that whistle's blown, but no call there. Second foul on Warren. First free throw by Grant is good. Butcher comes back in. English will sub out. Beebe comes in. Going to the bench, Baker for Carl Junction. Grant will have his second shot. His club up 16, but Grant can make his 17 here. He does just that with a silky smooth free throw. Coach Rolfs trying to inform his players to keep all of the Carl Junction Bulldog athletes in front of them so they don't bleed out for an easy layup underneath the basket. Hobrecht darts over a pass, right corner 3. Warren drills it. 4 seconds to go. Curtis inbounds. Grant looks up. Full court heave, shy of the bottom of the net. So after 1 half of play, it's Nakoa Warren trying to lift up the spirits of this Bulldog team that trails 30-16, a 14-point deficit by shooting 2 of 3 downtown, 1 before the buzzer goes. But Marquis English, Chase Curtis combined 16 points, 9 rebounds, and a whole lot of muscle underneath the basket. With that, we will take a 2-minute commercial break, bring you back the first half statistics as well as a look into the second half of action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
It's a feeling you get the moment you step on campus.
It's the knowledge that you've become part of something more.
We're a family of crimson and gold.
Every day we challenge ourselves to achieve more.
The reason why we're here is to make a difference.
Everybody wants to stand out
without standing apart.
You belong.
at Pittsburg State University.
What do you want from your bank?
Access to my account information on my phone.
Security, convenience, and friendly staff.
When I call, I want to speak with a real person.
I want it all. Low fees, low loan rates, and high deposit rates.
What if there was a place like this in your community? There is. Kansas Teachers Community Credit Union, with locations in Pittsburg, Fort Scott, Independence, and Coffeyville, serving area residents since 1949.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Headquartered in Richmond, Kansas, QSI Quality Structures Incorporated specializes in designing and building complete post-frame buildings. We provide structures built to withstand a 30-pound ground snow load and a 90-mile-per-hour wind shear built to the most stringent codes. Whether you need a garage, agricultural building, commercial facility, or custom-built design, we're your one-stop shop for post-frame buildings. QSI. Everything we do is right on cue.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7, as the dance team for the Purple Dragons trying to pump up the crowd and ratchet up the electricity inside the confines of Pittsburg High School. And they did just that with a stellar acrobatic performance. And at intermission, the Pittsburg High School boys basketball team leads Carl Junction 30-16 in the 2018 Border Classic. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back in our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. And right now it has been all Dragons. But before we delve deeper into today's contest, let's quickly go over some of the finals that we have in the Borders Classic. One in particular that will really determine who Pittsburg, if they happen to win or lose, it just depends who they play tomorrow on the boys' side. If Pittsburg is able to maintain the lead that they have now, which is 14 over Carl Junction, they would play the Carthage Tigers, who beat Atchison today 61-47. And Carthage, a very talented team in their own right. They have a lot of athletes, so the Dragons, if they are to win, will be faced up against a very talented Missouri club. That game would be at 7:30 here on ESPN 100.7, and that would immediately follow the girls' game. And to touch on the girls' game, it was Abby Casper and the Dragons following in an nail-biter to Sammy Mack's Tulsa East Central Cardinals, 46-43. Coach Krotz 3-7 on the year, and they will take on the less fortunate bunch who, between North KC and Wichita West, which is currently going on right now. No updates on that game yet, but once this game concludes, I'm sure it will be tweeted out. But they will play at 5:45 in the small gym tomorrow, which is just to the west of the main gym. And right now, again, a 14-point lead for the Pittsburg High School boys basketball team. And we'll go through the first half scoring as Chase Curtis and Marquis English combined for 16 points, 9 rebounds, 8 for Curtis, 8 for English, 6 rebounds for Curtis, 3 for English, 2 points for Javon Grant in the last few minutes of the second quarter, 5 for Isaac Leverance off the benches. He's probably having his best game of the season thus far. 6 points for Jarek Butcher, including a rebound. The Dragons out-rebounding Carl Junction, +9, 11-2. As we segue into Carl Junction scores, 4 points for Mason Fox, 3 for Will Beebe, 1 for Tegan Armentrout, 6 for Nicola Ward, and Trent Smith with just 2. Avi, we expected a very entertaining front court matchup, but foul issues have derailed what we thought would be a spectacle. 2 fouls on Trent Smith, 3 on Will Beebe, 3 on Trenton Austin, 2 on Marquis English, and Chase Curtis teetered with 2 as well. But despite the foul trouble in the low post, the Dragons have done a great job relying on their bench, as they do have 7 bench points to carry them through that first half.
Yeah, Cameron, so far we've seen a pretty good matchup between the two that we were expecting to have. But again, like you mentioned, not the expectations that we wanted to see at its peak performance. But hey, that's one half of basketball. There's still another half left. The PHS Purple Dragons are doing good at the perimeter shooting. Jared Butcher doing a solid job. He's starting to get hot here in 2018. One player for PHS who really needs to step up his game. I've been starting to see a slump in the past 2 or 3 games now. Is the guard, Gavin Elkamil. Sorry, I lost my number there. But Elkamil has been struggling. I think today he has not made a basket so far. He is struggling on his shots. It's just not there right now. He needs to step up, find some confidence in himself, and get those shots down. So he is a big factor who last year, I believe you mentioned 24 points per game as a freshman. Unbelievable statistic. Not so much this year. He needs to get back into his groove and help out his team. Because down low, Chase Curtis and Marquis English are doing their thing like always.
Well, and for this Bulldogs team, Coach Skip Brock has tried to draw up everything under the sun, whether it be high-low sets, isolations on the block, trying to get the guards involved in the ball game, but it just has not developed into anything that has been positive. And again, I refer back to the quote he told me when he and I spoke, process, not the outcome. And right now the process has been a grueling one, but he does have a lot of young players. And I touched on it earlier, Avi, and you did as well. Mason Fox, Brandon Hobrecht, Nicole Warren, all young guys at that guard spot that just have that inexperience. It's really hampering what could be a great fun offense for this Bulldog team. They have the size down low, but Trent Smith and Will Beebe, I know it's a lot to ask for from those two, but for two players that are nearly averaging double-doubles, you may have to rely on them if you are Coach Brock to get things going and snap this 6-game losing streak. And he said confidence was an issue. The lack of confidence could really be bleeding in from the 6-game losing streak up until now, but down 14 points, that's probably hanging around. I'm sure Coach Brock's message to his guys are, hey, we need to maintain the same level of aggressiveness. We need to cut down the turnovers. Let's go out there and have fun. We need to completely dispel all former notions that we had coming into this game that we're going to lose, because it seems that that was the mindset coming into this team. Did not stand a chance against one of the top 10 teams in Class 5A in the state of Kansas, but they do. They have the talent all around. It's slowly coming out. And I think in the second half, we'll see a lot more polished basketball from this Bulldog bunch. Do you have any final notes before we throw it to a 1-minute commercial break?
You know, I've got to say that I think you mentioned it before the game started that this is the first time that this team is back together due to all the injuries and everything. So one of the toughest things is the 6-game losing streak. You got to put that behind you, Cameron. You got to look forward to the next game and be prepared, and that's how they're trying to overcome this. A lot of sloppy stuff that has happened, but when this team gets together, I think they'll start to figure it out.
And with that, we will step aside for 60 seconds, and we will be back with your sports headquarters in the beginning of the third quarter between the Dragons and Bulldogs on ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast in names and numbers.
Customer first, safety always. It's not just a tagline, it's the Watco way. By focusing on safety, each and every day they build a future by protecting their customers, team members, community, and the environment. When Watco moves commodities by rail, river, and road, at home or across North America and Australia, their priority is to ensure that they deliver their loads safely and on time. Watco wishes all area teams a safe and successful season.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
I get a very special shout out to Shelby Whiteback at our KSHQ studio, working his tail off to keep us on the air. Avi Sharma Camelina with you. Let's begin the third quarter as Chase Curtis rips it away from the left wing, goes up, right-handed on the left side of the goal and scores. The Dragons on your dial going from left to right offensively. Curtis now hits the double-digit scoring echelon. The only player in the contest thus far to do that, and a turnover by Will Beebe. Almost a turnover, as Hobrecht saves it in front of the scorer's table, and then Smith is able to fight through the arms of English and draw the foul. He will head to the free throw line. 32-16 is the score. Dragons up 16 with 7:34 left in the third. And it looks like it was on the floor instead. And Coach Brock is talking with the officials saying, was he in the act of shooting? Shouldn't it be 2 shots? And I'm just as perplexed. But Beebe will inbound right side of the basket towards the far baseline. Left wing catching it is Warren. Warren will whip it around to Fox, who delivers a quick fluttering pass to the right wing where Beebe's at. A swift rotation to Warren. Straight away 3. Good. And Nakoa Warren, the sharpshooter, 3 of 4 from deep, 9 points as he minimizes the damage. Back to 13, catching it near side block is English near the baseline. Hobrecht brings the double team between BB and himself. English whips it back outside. It's Butcher forcing his way inside the key and trying to muscle all the way inside. He draws the foul. And that is the first on Hobrecht. And Butcher will go to the free throw line, shooting a pair. Curtis will trail off towards midcourt with Elkamil, and he's trying to pick up Elkamil. I know you mentioned it at halftime, but Elkamil has recently struggled. Elkamil last game against the Trojans, he shot 5 of 9 from the field, 12 points, 2 rebounds. Not terrible in that contest. We go back to Labette County. He dialed up 13 points and 4 of 11 shooting from the floor. Butcher, after missing his first offering, sets at his right knee and flicks his wrist straight up and knocks it down. The Dragons 9 of 13 from the stripe compared to the 4 of 11 from the Bulldogs. 2 staggered screens set to the left and right respectively of Butcher. BB will catch at the point. English comes out to defend. There was a whole backcourt that was undefended. Smith catches right block, tries to spin inside, and a foul on the floor. 33-19 is the score. It will be called on Curtis, his second. Second team foul on the Dragons in this third quarter. Inbound from the left side of the goal, far side baseline for Armentrout. Armentrout delivers a beautiful chest pass to Fox, who steps into a 2 and leaves it short. Elkamil will track it down. Elkamil trying to hit his first field goal of the game as he'll stop on the right wing. He finds Butcher. Butcher right back to Elkamil with a one-hand sling pass. English catches. Near side block will reverse back out. Bounce pass to Curtis. Curtis scans, and it's a travel. And Curtis stoic with his affects, and he had to, if there was anything that was noticeable from his expression, was that he bit his lip because he felt that he didn't travel, but I think that back right foot did shake out from underneath him. Armentrout tries to feint the dribble past midcourt, but instead looks to BB. Armentrout gets it right back. He'll dribble with his left hand. He continues to scan, and the red-cladded Bulldogs trying to go to work. A chest pass right corner. Fox's 3, short again, rebounded by English, his 4th board of the night. English, a big 6'7" forward that can run the floor as well. That's dangerous. That does not bode well for Carl Junction. Elkamil begging for the basketball. Right corner, up fake by English, pulls up on the 2, up and down it definitely goes. The two-pointer, he now is 3 of 3 from the field. And a good shot by English. Ball stolen away by Curtis. Warren with a bad pass. Curtis tries to go with the Euro step, falls away, and it's a block, and that will be called on Armentrout. Second team foul on Carl Junction, and the third on Armentrout. Excuse me, no, it's being called on Warren. And Warren saying, how's that on me? It should be on 14. And I think they do need to change that. They're saying that Warren committed the foul. He was nowhere near it. It should be Armentrout. I think they're not going to change it. Wow. Okay, well, that is 3 now on Warren. Butcher to inbound. I think they're getting Warren on. So now they're going to change it. Curtis catches right block off the near side baseline inbound. and he does not score. So after the change of foul, it's 2 on Armentrout, 2 on Warren. Warren, speaking of which, in the process of moving, is able to find Armentrout 3 steps away from the top of the yard. Frazier has it left wing, moves it left corner to Warren. Smith trying to go to work. Reverse lay-in challenged by English and deterred. Smith 0 of 4 from the floor and a foul on the floor. It is on Smith. He has 3. Beebe with 3. 2 on Warren, 2 on Armentrout. So the fouls beginning to pile up for the Bulldogs with 5:10 left in the third. It's 35-19. Dragons up 16 points. Dragons 14-2 rebound advantage. English, left elbow, scans, brings the ball above his head, and it's to Rolfs at the point and a foul away from the basketball. I think they're going to call it on Curtis. That is the case. Now 3 on Curtis as Trenton Austin subs in. He has a similar amount of fouls.
In the game for Pittsburgh, number 41, Trent Austin.
Under 5 to go in the third. Dragons still lead by 16. Pressure in the backcourt. The Dragons manning up. English is there defending BB, and now it looks like they'll change to a half-court trap. English and Rolfs right there awaiting BB. Ball to Frazier, right corner, no. Rebound by English, his 6th of the night. English finds Austin, who nearly travels. He'll scoop it left corner to Butcher, delivers a wraparound bowling pass to English. Fadeaway 2, left short corner goes. English from inside the horseshoe is 4 of 4, 4 of 5 overall tonight. He has 12 points, 5 rebounds, and it is an 18-point lead for the Dragons. 4:29 left in the third quarter of play, and the Dragons have come out spitting fire as they're winning the third quarter and scoring 7-2. We are back in 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
The true test of a great insurance agency comes when you suffer a loss. It's easy to take your premiums, but Ray Ryan of Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh knows that handling your claim is the most important service an insured needs.
Claim is our chance to let the customer know that we'll be out there, not just that we sold them a policy, we'll also be there when a claim occurs to make sure it gets handled in an honest, respectable way.
Ryan Insurance of Pittsburgh, a trusted choice agency. Find them fast in names and numbers.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
We're here on 100.7. I'd like to give a shout out to Jeff Staley, AD of Pittsburgh High School, as he's been nothing but accommodating thus far this season for us on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. And in addition, the way he has been able to engineer the Border Classic is nothing short of spectacular. Right now, at the scores table, there's a couple media members and extra tables set out for the coaches to scout and sit back, and a lot of fans jam-packed in here for what will be a fun 3 days of action. This is just the beginning, and I think Friday and Saturday are going to be even more exciting as Elkamil brings a half-court trap. English is there. He'll defend BB at midcourt. BB 6'6", and pretty good handles. He'll stop right wing. Austin comes out to deter him. Frazier catches left wing, jabs with his left foot in front of his right. Attacking left short corner is Armentrout, who goes with a high arcing reverse layup. A lot of spin to it. Nowhere near the bottom of the net as English picks up his 6th rebound. Over to Butcher. Austin catches left block, hangs in the air, rotates the ball underneath his knees, and goes with the reverse lay-in of his own. It's a 20-point ball game, 39-19. And Trenton Austin, something out of a video game with how he hung in the air. BB, left block, no. Grabs his own board, goes back up on a foul on the second offering. BB, an excellent job staying with it. And English picks up his 3rd. And I spoke with Coach Rolfs in the pregame interview about the unselfishness of this team and how he feels it's really aided this club, and he just believes that this team is at its best when they look for that open shot. There are a lot of playmakers here, but no egos. There's no one selfish on this team, and just for Jarrett Butcher, for example, to have an open shot on the left wing and then find Austin left block, I think is indicative of that. And the second free throw shakes around for BB and falls through, as he is 3 of 4 shooting on the night from the stripe. He has 5 points and 2 rebounds as Butcher enters the front court, looks for a cutting Rolfs. Quick trigger 3, swats it in. Rolfs knocks down his first trifecta of the night, his first field goal overall, as he's 1 of 4 in the contest. BB pulls up left corner, and it looks to be his favorite spot as he almost drilled it with a hand in his face. Leverage and Grant set to check in for the Dragons as they are at the purple scorers table. Rolfs left corner 3, another one. You're going to do that without DJ Khaled here? Come on now. Beebe, past the timeline, right-handed. Scoops it back. Frazier, right corner defended by Butcher. 45-21 the score. 24-point lead for the Dragons. Warren, good crossover in front of Rolfs, but he does an even better job of staying in front of him. Double clutching right-hand shot for Beebe falls. Beebe starting to turn it on late in the third quarter, scoring 5 consecutive points. 45-23 the score. Scanning is Rolfs. He gets the ball right wing. He finds Austin, who just flashed up. He'll set a cross screen. Roll, alley-oop attempt, and slams it in! Trenton Austin lowers the gavel, and that sparks a reaction from the student section from Pittsburg High School. I think the Kobe Bryant wearing student is a bit surprised. I think he's actually impressed. Right wing with it is Baker, who interchanges with Frazier. Following the Austin alley-oop. Beebe scans, good cut through the middle of the lane by Warren. He leaves it short though. Elkamil able to grapple the board. Looks in transition, errant pass stolen away by Beebe. All 6'6" of him muscling up the floor. He delivers a slam of his own as he flew through the middle of the lane and said, I'll just toss down a springboard and fly off of it. 47-25 is the score following a flurry of dunks. 47-25 again, which is a 22-point lead for the Dragons. 1:39 left in the third. And English loses his balance towards the near baseline. Left short corner, Elkamil goes to work, tries to muscle in between Frazier and Warren. I think he elbowed Warren in the head, but it's a foul on the floor. That is Warren's third. Fox comes back in for Carl Junction. Frazier subs out. English will sub out. Grant comes in. As Rolfs will inbound, Leverins catches right corner. Grant gets a right wing. Right back to the right corner where Rolfs is at as he works it back to Grant with his gray Nikes with what seems to be a black swoosh. Grant not wasting much time finding the marksman on the right wing, number 23 in Rolfs. Brings the ball, left tip, thought about ripping through in front of Fox. Instead, Grant catches left elbow and a foul. And it seems to be on Leverins away from the basketball. So that is the second on Leverins. Warren, as he enters the front court of play, is defended by Grant, who rips it away as he purloins the basketball. Rolfs recovers over to Grant, lobs it up, and Austin with the jam! 57 seconds left in the third. It's a 24-point ball game, 49-25. Javon Grant with a good rip. Rolfs feeds it back to Grant, and then the unselfish play to Austin, who now has 6 in the contest. Shot down low by Smith. Rebound by Baker. He bounces off the body of, I think, Austin. Draws the foul and goes to the free throw line. It will be called on Kafka. First free throw for Baker. Falls through the bottom of the nylon with ease. Ludds comes back in. Smith subs out, as does Warren. And Hobrecht also enters the contest for Carl Junction with 39 seconds to go, which is a 23-point ball game and a lane violation, I think. Either that or Leverins and Beebe are just too physical, and that is the case. The official on the backside separating the two. Free throw by Baker, swirls out, rebound by Austin. Leverins being praised for the good box out on Beebe as Grant has it in the front court, 36 to go. And the student section chanting, "We want dunks." 21 seconds left in the third. Grant, left wing, Austin with it. With his purple Nike shoes, will fade down to the left block. Right corner is Kafka. A great bench marksman as he rotates it to the point, and Rolfs in the third quarter has hit 3 threes. 3 of 5 from deep, 9 points all in the third. Leaning into a full court heave is Mason Fox. That drops into 0 of 2 from behind the arc on the night. And after 3 quarters of play, it's the Purple Dragons running away with it as they put on 22 points in the third compared to the 10 of the Bulldogs for an outstanding 52-26 lead. Heading into the fourth quarter of play, it is Dragons with the lead. We are back in 30 seconds with your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
At Lindbergh Pharmacy, we care about your health. From a qualified and caring staff to services like our Time My Meds and MedPack programs, Lindbergh Pharmacy provides personalized service you can count on. Refill prescriptions online at lindberghpharmacy.com or on your smartphone with our free Lindbergh Pharmacy mobile app. You can also sign up for our text alert program and we'll text or email you when your prescription is ready. Can't make it to us? We'll deliver your medications right to your door. Lindbergh Pharmacy, now 2 locations to serve you.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
The Dragons have drummed up the lead heading into the second half with a 14-point edge. Now they lead 52-26, a 26-point edge right now over the visiting Carl Junction Bulldogs here for the 2018 Border Classic. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back out our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Quick inbound. Bulldogs aren't even set, but the official handed the ball to Curtis. He finds Elkamil. Good recovery by Carl Junction. I think a warning was sounded by the scores table to let Coach Brock know how much longer he had, but I don't think he responded well or responded in time, and that nearly proved to be disastrous. Butcher, right wing, works it to Rolfs, who hit 3 3-pointers in the third. Reverse bounce pass to English, double clutch by Curtis. Good job by Beebe deterring the shot as Curtis misses his second shot of the night, and a foul towards the far end of the court by Butcher. That is the 17th foul committed by the Dragons, and Fox goes to the free throw line. Correction, it's on Elkamil, his 4th. And now the Barside official is talking with Jeff Staley, the AD for Pittsburg High School. And I think there may be a disruptor in the building. And now he is asking all of them to leave, I believe, as the first free throw drops for Fox. 52-27 is the score. After the first free throw falls. Second opportunity by Fox, no. Rebound by Butcher, but Fox does go 1 of 2 from the stripe. He is now 1 of 4 in the contest. Butcher with his second rebound of the night, including 7 points. Rolfs, far side wing, will find Butcher, who whips it around, right wing to Elkamil, right back to Butcher at the point. Butcher is able to relocate the ball to Elkamil as the ball is being mostly passed around the perimeter. Left wing Rolfs, and how about Drew Rolfs? 4 of 6 from deep. He hit 3 in the third quarter, and he's starting off on the right note in the fourth. The hot hand has led the Dragons to a 55-27 lead. Bounce pass to a curling BB, deflected by English. Ball is bounced high into the air. English tries to save it off the shoe of Warren. Dragons basketball. And I'm impressed. I know we talk about Gavin Elkamil, his seemingly unlimited talent, and how he struggled as of late, but still the mindset to play the game at hand and not be self-centered is extremely impressive. I'm very impressed with what he's brought to the table in terms of teamwork. As Butcher goes to the hop step free throw line, tries to find Curtis, ball ripped away by Smith, and BB have only combined for 12 points and 3 rebounds as the three-pointer's on its way from Smith, rebounded by Elkamil. Elkamil with his third board of the night, crosses over from right to left. Now we'll reverse. And Elkamil has the pass popped up high in the air, and it lands right in front of us. No, sit down, Avi. You're not getting it. You're not getting it. No, keep the headset on. 55-27 is the score. The Dragons nearly with a 30-point lead. And as I mentioned before, BB and Smith have combined for 12. Curtis and English have put up 22 and 12. And it looks like a 2-3 zone by the Bulldogs. Snapping over right wing to Butcher is Warren. Rolfs works it around left wing. Elkamil trying to attack. He's inside the left circle, but reverses out. Elkamil dribbling with his right hand as he pounds the ball to the hardwood. Rolfs, no look pass, left short corner. With it is English, skip pass, right wing. Butcher up big. That's the good deke. He works around, wrap around pass. Rolfs 3. Crawls off the right side of the orange, and it's rebounded by Smith. Smith with his third board of the night. Transition layup, good by Baker. And Baker in the contest has played well as he lays it in for the first time tonight. 55-29 the score. Wolves will work around a fake screen set by English. He's at the free throw line, goes to the hop step from the high post to the near left block, floats it up, does not make it, but a foul. 5 to go in the fourth. 55-29 is the score. The Dragons will take on Carthage, and the Tigers patiently waiting, some of them scouting in the stands. And Carthage, a talented team in their own right. Arkell Smith, a versatile forward, and the Martini kid in the front court, also a talented 6'7" player. So the Dragons will have their work cut out for them in what seems to be a double-digit victory against Carl Junction. Still 5 minutes to go, but Javon Grant to inbound as Kafka also comes on the floor with Leverage and Austin, and a foul on the floor. Shot waved off. It was converted by Leverage, but it will be a foul on Armentrout. And that is his second. That is the sixth foul by the visiting Bulldogs. Elkamil inbounds, and I don't think the sideline officials saw if the ball was slapped away. Leverage immediately turned towards the backside official and said it was swatted away. I did not see any contact in the slightest. I think it was just a bad pass on the inbound. Grant, it's a fake pass. Leverage catches it right wing. Cutting is Austin. Goes up right and left-handed. It was almost like a volleyball set as he's pushed to the ground and still converts. And that ups Austin's completion rating to 4 of 5 on the night, 8 points, and his first free throw opportunity awaiting him. Austin, smooth free throw, short, rebounded by Warren. Warren with 9 in the contest, all coming from behind the arc. Left corner, Frazier steps into a 3. Elkamil, 4 boards now. Elkamil, bounce pass, Austin, left-handed, scores. Austin and the front court for this Dragon team absolutely butchering this Bulldog club. Armentrout kicks it out left wing. Frazier's there as he skips it over to Warren, right corner. Elkamil and Kafka force him back out to the perimeter. Inside the right circle by just a foot is Fox as he finds Warren, who finally releases away from Kafka. Hop step by Warren and a foul on the floor. 18 foul committed by the Dragons, up 30, and the second on Kafka. And a one-on-one opportunity as Dalton Gromer checks in for the Dragons. Elkamil will go to the bench, and Coach Rolf's talking with Elkamil and giving him a hard slap on the back. I think just commending him for a good night's work. He finishes 0 of 2 from the floor, 1 of 2 from the free throw line, a point, 4 rebounds, but the aspiration to make sure that his head was still in the game, make sure that his ego was not in front of the team's goal, I think should be commended. At the point is Austin following the pass from Kafka after the free throw miss on the opposite end by Armentrout. Skip pass by Kafka to Dalton Gromer. Gromer goes up, nearly draws a foul. Austin tries to go with a put-back dunk and a foul. It is the third on Baker. 18 foul on the Bulldogs, who will at this rate advance to the losers bracket, if you will. It's called the consolation bracket. I should call it as such, so I beg your pardon. Against Atchison, who fell to Carthage earlier today. New face for the Bulldogs. Drew Henderson subs in, and Warren's night is done as he will catch his breath in the last 2:45 of action with running clock as Austin's free throw goes. They'll have a second offering and a chance to go 2 or 3 from the stripe here as he sets at the waist, flicks, and scores. Ball is inbounded in the backcourt to Armentrout, who crosses over left to right. Hop step goes up, double clutches, no. Baker with the board, swatted away emphatically by Austin with bunnies for days. Javon Grant, no look, sidearm pass to Austin. He decides not to take an ill-advised shot. Leverland catches off the pass from Austin and draws the foul. Dangerous pass by Grant. I know he wants to be a bit slick, but he was dribbling to the left block, eyes straight forward to the cushion that is mounted on the purple wall inside Pittsburg High School's gymnasium towards the east, and then tried to work his way inside. Goes with an underhand pass that was nearly stolen by Austin, somehow came up with it, and then looked inside for Leverance, and Leverance misses his first free throw. As Peyton Cantrell enters the contest, as does Brent Wiemers. Leverance with a chance to go 1-2 on this trip to the free throw line. He does just that. 62-29 is the score. 1:30 left in the ball game. Armentrout, left-hand dribbles, tries to work his way past the defending Cantrell. Turnaround shot falls through. Right block for Carl Junction. And Alex Baker is able to convert his second field goal of the night. 1 minute to go in the ball game. The Dragons appear to have a handle on this game. Up 31 right now. Gromer right wing delivers a pass left wing to an open Wiemers. Left wing even deeper is Kafka. And a fadeaway two by Cantrell is off to the left. Rebounded by Fox, who looks for Armentrout in the front court. He goes up left-handed lay-in, dribbles around the orange and falls through. And that will be an and one opportunity. Armentrout's first field goal converted of the game, and that's the third on Kafka.
At the line shooting one shot, number 14, Tegan Armentrout.
25 seconds left in the contest. 62-33 is the score. Armentrout does not convert the free throw. Ball still loose, rebounded by Kafka. And the ball swatted up in the air by Armentrout, who missed the +1 opportunity. It will remain Purple Dragon basketball. Leverance catches in the backcourt, and that's all. 62-33, final score. Dragons prevail as they are awaiting Carthage High School. As they will play them tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. You can catch all the action here on your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. We will also have coverage of the Pittsburg High School contest against either North Kansas City or Wichita West. That game coming to a conclusion right about this time. Hopefully we can deliver that to you in our post-game coverage as we will look at final stats, have an interview with Kylie Rolfe, head boys basketball coach of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons, and much more. You've been listening to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7.
Hi, this is Dr. Brent Cousins with SEK Urgent Care. When you're sick, when you're injured, or when you just don't feel like yourself, SEK Urgent Care is here for you. Let our skilled providers treat your non-life-threatening illness or injury at a fraction of the time and cost of an ER visit. Located at the corner of Centennial and Broadway in the Meadowbrook Commons. Open 7 days a week for your convenience. SEK Urgent Care, where your family and time matter. Find us fast on names and numbers.
Now accepting new clients. At the Pet Care and Surgery Center, Dr. James Clark believes all of our pets deserve kind, humane, and loving treatment. From a simple checkup or rabies vaccination to performing major surgery. Plus, Dr. Clark has boarding, grooming, nutrition, and wellness checkups. Dr. James Clark can provide that loving member of your family with the treatment they deserve. Call 620-308-6454 to set up an appointment or simply visit petcarecenter.org. Pet Care and Surgery, making a difference.
What's the buzz around Community National Bank and Trust? They're talking mobile banking, instant issue debit cards, rewards checking and credit cards, and let's not forget e-power checking, paying better than CD-like rates on a checking account, plus nationwide ATM fee refunds. Get in on the buzz. Community National Bank and Trust, member FDIC.
Does your current checking account pay you up to $15 per month? With Common Sense Checking at University Bank, you can earn up to $15 per statement cycle, 10 cents for each swipe after the first 15 swipes. Qualifying is so easy. Simply have one direct deposit or auto payment plus 15 debit card purchases each statement cycle and a $100 opening deposit. Stop by the bank for more information about our Common Sense Checking. Then swipe and save. It's convenience that pays at University Bank. Branch GMB, member FDIC.
Stream this online at ESPN1007.com.
And we welcome you back to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Avi Sharma, Shelby White back in our KSHQ studio. Cam Molina with you. Final score, Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons boys basketball team down Skip Brock's Carl Junction Bulldogs 62-33 as we quickly go over the statistics for the now 7-2 Dragons. 10 points for Chase Curtis, including 6 rebounds. A rebound for Alex Kafka. He had 3 fouls in the ball game. Javon Grant, 2 points. 6 points for Isaac Leverins in a rebound. 12 for Drew Rolfs as he had an explosive third quarter, knocking down 3 3-pointers, shooting 4 of 7 on the night from downtown, 4 of 8 overall from the field. Gavin Elkamill, 1 point, 4 rebounds in the ball game. 12 points for Marquis English, including 6 rebounds. He and Chase Curtis combining for 22 points, 12 rebounds overall. 7 points for Jared Butcher and 2 rebounds, and then Trenton Austin, 12 points and a rebound. As for the Bulldogs, Mason Fox, 5 points, 10 points for Will Beebe and 2 rebounds. He led all Bulldogs scorers. Armand Trout, 3 points, 9 for Warren as he shot 3 of 4 from deep, including a rebound. And then Trent Smith had a difficult time scoring tonight against both Chase Curtis and Marquis English as he wrapped up with 2 points, 3 rebounds. Alex Baker with 4 points as well, as we are now joined by Pittsburg High School boys basketball coach Kylie Rolfs. Coach, good way to begin the 2018 Border Classic. Just give me your opinion on how you thought your boys played tonight.
Well, defensively, I thought we played really well. The fouling was a concern. If I had to pick something out right now that we didn't do well in the defensive end, it would be, we got too many fouls in the first half and put them to the free throw line. You take away the fouling, and I thought we were really good defensively. Our guys really locked into the game plan, went out and executed it, and that's a lot of fun when you can go out and play defense the way our guys did most of the night tonight.
Coach, it's not surprising, especially for those who have observed the Dragons over the last 2-3 years, that you have a lot of talent. But one thing that really stood out to me and Avi tonight was the fact that the unselfishness was on full display. Yeah. Can you touch on that?
Well, that's when we're good. When we're moving the ball like that and not worried about anything else, that's when we're at our best. And I thought we were locked into that tonight. And, our defense fed into that. I thought you'll get stops, you get steals. You get to push the ball up the floor, pass it ahead, and that's when that whole sharing kind of starts.
And with that, Gavin Elkamill, he's hit kind of a rough patch lately.
Yeah.
And, despite that, I love the fact that he has put the team before himself. It's easy for a player of his caliber maybe to put the ego in front of the rest of the team's goals, but he seems to take a back seat and really try to play for the team. Can you touch on that?
Well, he got a bunch of big rebounds tonight. Everybody always wants to kind of equate not scoring to maybe not playing well.
You're right.
That's not the case. I mean, there's so many other things. He's a very good basketball player, and he can do a lot. He does do a lot of things for our team besides just score. And that's something we really stress to our guys is, hey, you may not be scoring. It's all good. Do the other things that make us good. And he really rebounded the ball well tonight. And I thought he played good defense too, as well as our other guys. So I mean, maybe didn't shoot the ball as well, but that doesn't equate to not playing well.
I agree. And in terms of the rest of your team, the bench production was outstanding tonight. Trenton Austin comes out, shows off his athleticism, and then Isaac Leverins gives you good minutes during the foul trouble. Can you just touch on that?
Well, I thought our bench was good. Isaac, Treno, Javon gave us a real spark at the end of the first half, I thought. Alex Kafka gave us good minutes in the first and second half. Our bench was really key tonight. We didn't have any drop-offs. I thought they brought good energy.
Can you walk me through only having a one-day turnaround before you play Carthage? How does that whole system go, getting your guys prepared for that and then trying to scout?
Well, we've scouted Carthage already in terms of seeing them play tonight. Now, tonight we'll take a look at video and break some more things down, and tomorrow after school we'll sit down and kind of go over the game plan with our guys relative to Carthage. We don't, you can't get on the floor and really do anything about it, but our guys are usually pretty good at picking things up, so hopefully we'll get a good scout on them tomorrow after school and be ready to go tomorrow night.
Well, Coach, I really appreciate the time, and congratulations on the 7th victory of the year and moving forward in the 2018 Border Classic.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Once again, that was Kylie Rolfs, head boys basketball coach of the Pittsburg High School Purple Dragons. Boys basketball team advances into the winners bracket as they will play Carthage tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. We are still looking for the winner of the North KC Wichita West girls game that was played during the boys contest. North KC brought their JV and their varsity. The varsity played Wichita West, so depending on the outcome of that game, the team that faltered in that contest moving to the consolation bracket will play the Dragons tomorrow at 5:45 p.m. in the auxiliary gym. So it will be an interesting evening, to say the least, Avi, for us as we move from the auxiliary gym into here for the boys broadcast in the main gym. So make sure to bear with us for those who aren't turning and listening to the Dragons. And once again, boys basketball team wins, earns their 7th victory on the year, 62-33, downing Skip Brock's Carl Junction Bulldogs, and Chris Kratz losing his 7th game of the year as the Dragons fall to Tulsa East Central in a nail-biter, 46-43. Special shout-out once again, Shelby White back at our KSHQ studio. From Avi Sharma, I'm Cam Molina. You've been listening to your sports headquarters, ESPN 100.7. Have fun, be safe. Our coverage begins tomorrow at approximately 5:20 p.m. for Day 2 of the 2018 Border Classic.
Hi, this is